Greetings, guys. This is Mr. J, and we've got another episode of Fanboy JunKtion coming at you. Today, I've got special guest Demarcus. I don't know if I can still call him special since he's been here a couple times. We'll just keep calling him special from now on. He's going to be here, and we're going to do something a little different, kind of go to a top five, but what we're going to do is top five moments in a comic book movie. This is just some moments, not like an entire movie. These top five don't exactly even represent top five movies for us or anything like that. At least for me, I don't know about Demarcus, but it's just going to be top five moments from comic book movies. I don't know if I think Demarcus's list is in a numeric like 5 to 1. Mine is kind of in general, and then there's definitely one. So, without any further ado or fondue or whatever, we're going to go ahead and let Demarcus go. Demarcus, say hi and let us know what's up.
Hey, what's up, everybody? It's D. So, let's jump right into this list. We're going to try to stay on task this time. So
20 minutes. That's the goal. The goal is under 20 minutes.
Oh, okay. 19 minutes. All right. Well, my number five, yeah, it's more general. It's more general than anything. But yeah, definitely number one, just like Matt's. All right. Top five movie moments. Number five for me is in X2, X-Men United, when Nightcrawler infiltrates the White House. Love that moment. Just it's a badass moment. It shows just how dangerous teleportation can be. Shows how dangerous a character that Nightcrawler is. And I would definitely say whoever just put that scene together is a definite fan of Nightcrawler. I always thought that scene was really cool.
Yeah, and I always thought it was funny that that opening scene was so awesome, and then he does nothing for the rest of the show.
That was it. He just kind of whines and gets emo. That's pretty much it for the rest of the movie.
Yeah.
Number four, Superman 2. Superman tricks Zod at the end, when he had him, he tricked the Kryptonian villains to be in the chamber and he swapped them around and everything. I thought that was really cool. Probably wasn't the best moment of Superman 2 with all the action going on, but even now they don't show one of Superman's biggest one of his, like, I'd say his second biggest attribute is his mind. He's pretty sharp, pretty smart guy, pretty clever. So I love that scene, and then just to see Superman beat the hell out of Zod and not kill him, that's just awesome.
Yeah, and it's actually kind of funny. I was watching the cartoon series, the one from the late 90s, and they had that one episode with Mitzel, whatever his name is.
Yes.
And just showing, yeah, and they show his intelligence in that because he just keeps figuring out ways to trick him to saying his name backwards.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And it is that whole thing, a very rare thing that you actually see how intelligent Superman is. So I like that.
Superman 2, Superman tricks Zod. Number three, gonna switch up gears a little bit. We're gonna go across the pond. They usually say that about the UK. At any rate, Battle Royale, the first movie, the schoolgirl massacre, the one that happened in the kitchen. It started off all night, and this is probably about well into the movie, and it has a bunch of schoolgirls, and they're all. I know this sounds like a whole different setup for a different kind of movie, but if you haven't seen it, but they're all cool and relaxed and everything, and then someone, I think, accuses someone of poisoning the other's food because all the students have to take each other out, so there's only one. And I mean, the scene started off great, nice and calm, and all of a sudden, it's a gunfight, and everyone's dead. And I think the reason why I really like this part of the movie is because, I mean, it drives the brutality of the movie. It shows, like, what kids are capable of. That's it. It drives it home. So, yeah, the
yeah, I remember, and it's actually kind of funny, and I'm going to try and do this quick, is that Hunger Games, when it started becoming popular, was compared to Battle Royale. It's a Japanese comic that was made into a movie. And I think what it was is they had just captured the main character boy, and one of the girls was trying to poison the boy so that they get rid of him and then keep going. And then what happened is one of the other girls took the bowl of food to eat it instead of delivering it. It was like this weird, like, here, give me the bowl. No, I'm going to deliver it to the boy. No, what does it matter? We're all eating the same thing. And then it just kind of explodes from there. But yeah, if you guys haven't seen that Battle Royal, I think it's on Netflix. Watch it. I think it's more intense. I think there's a different twist because unlike Hunger Games, where it's like a bunch of different people from different nations, they basically just take a high school class, like just a classroom, and bust them off, and then put them on an island and say whoever survives this 3 day slaughter gets to gets to live. Everybody else is gonna die. So yeah, I thought it was more of a mind kind of. And definitely thinking that, like, the thing I always thought about with it was like, I think about somebody who was in, my sophomore English class. I was like, man, I've been going to school with that guy for the past 3-4 years. Or if it was like, somebody who had gone to the same, lived in the same house their whole life, it could be people they've known since they were in kindergarten, and now they're having to kill them. So I thought that was an interesting twist. Anyway, sorry, go ahead, go to your number 2.
Cool. Yeah, and that was pretty much the case because I think in the movie he had flashbacks to when they were younger and innocent and on the basketball court and having fun and stuff. And yeah, number I got lost count on my list. Number 4, no, this would be number 2. God, no.
Two. I even fed it to you, bro. Number 2.
Eric Draven becomes the Crow. One of the big things, especially in superhero movies, when there's an origin story, is the emergence of the fully realized hero. And I have to say, to me, and the Crow, just the most impressive. I mean, it was just cool. And that soundtrack by Graham Revell, yeah, that sold the moment. So yeah, not much to say about that. He just looked badass as the Crow when he came out.
Yeah, and it was that was a crazy, awesome moment, and just seeing Brandon Lee, of course, so harrowing to watch it a year after he died, but yeah, good call.
Number 1. Now, this one is cheating a bit because this is pretty much like the last half or last third of the movie. It's the Battle of New York Avengers. I'm sorry, man. To me, it was like, just so many, oh my God, on this level, like, oh my God, I'm watching an Avengers movie. Oh my God, a superhero battle, a super team battle, just constantly over and over. It was just like, wow, just a bunch of really cool moments. I mean, I don't even have to go through all of them. And, I think everybody, even Hawkeye to a much lesser degree, had their moment in the sun. And it was like, if you're going to make a superhero movie after this is what you have to do if there's going to be a big knockdown drag out. Because, X-Men, it was cool, it was okay, but, it wasn't that great. But, yeah. Avengers sold it completely. It did it. That's a superhero battle. So
yeah, I'm gonna have to save Avengers for my honorable mention.
Yeah.
Well, I'll just do it now. There are 2 moments in there that I really enjoyed. The whole moment where the camera rotates and you, for the first time, see them lined up as a team.
Oh yeah.
I thought that was really cool. I wish, to me, I liked it. But it would have been so, if they could, and I don't know what cover, if they could have figured out a way to homage a cover in that shot, or even pulled the shot back, because it was really maybe 2 seconds. But if they had been able to circle around and then pull back, I think I would have liked it more. But there was one shot in that whole thing, and I want to say it starts with Hawkeye. No, it starts with Iron Man, and Iron Man flies in, and then he stops, and he helps. No, it's I think it's sort of Black Widow, and then Iron Man comes and helps her, and he goes down, helps Cap, flies up, goes past Hawkeye. Hawkeye's doing arrows, and then it goes by Hulk and Thor, and then it goes by, and it's just this continuing motion of just seeing them do their thing. They're definitely my honorable mentions. So there's one of my top is from that movie, but that was some good stuff.
Yeah.
My list.
There you go.
I'll be honest with you, and I didn't want to change my list after you had said it, is I went with actual comic books. That's not really fair to say it that way, but more superhero comics. And probably, if I had really thought about it, I probably would have done it. So my honorable mention is going to be from 300. When they first make the line, and they're doing, the guys are attacking and push, and then Leonidas breaks away and just starts fighting dudes left and right, and pang, he's all ripped, and that was just one of those like, yeah, get me back to the gym. I want to look like that when I'm fighting nobody, because I'm not in a movie like that. But those are my two honorable mentions. All right, so I'm going to go to my list, and again, mine's not in any kind of particular order. The first one I'm going to mention is from the original Superman movie, from the one from '79, and it's after he's kind of discovered who he is, and he's standing on the platform in the Fortress of Solitude, and for the first time he just stands there and he just drops off and he flies right towards the camera and then just banks right at the end.
Yeah,
Like it
great.
was just one of those moments where, because you're waiting, because he does a couple things here and there, but it was just to see him in the suit and for the first time in one shot, just kind of boom, and then
Yeah.
just he just perfect. I mean
Like,
that was an amazing moment.
yeah, I was like,
So
this is not a drill. Superman is here.
yeah, exactly. And it was neat in Man of Steel, but it didn't have the same kind of. I I wish they would have just had him walk out and fly instead of doing that weird comedic jumping thing. Like, but
Yeah.
anyway, my next one is it was actually one of these weird moments for me, and I love this moment. And it's in Spider-Man 2, not the reboot one, but the one with Doctor Octopus and Spider-Man. And
The good Spider-Man too.
yeah. I don't want to go there, but yeah. But oh man, the actor's name completely escapes me right now. But he's playing Doctor Octopus. It's the very end of the movie. Spider-Man has removed his mask, and he runs over to Doctor Octopus, and he's kind of like telling him, like, "What do I do? What do I do?" Because he's lost. And Doctor Octopus looks at him and goes, "Peter Parker," and then just have this realization of everything making sense, and he just goes, "Brilliant but lazy."
Yeah.
And it's just this moment where everything about Peter Parker and Spider-Man, you can just see it on the dude's face, just the way he acts. Like, that's why you're always late. That's why you always seem, somewhere else, because you're Spider-Man. Ha ha! And I just loved that moment. And I think that when people in the movies find out who he is, it just seems to be underplayed. There's no one ever like, what? And
Yeah.
there's another moment in that movie that I like too, when somehow his mask comes off again, and all the people pull him into the thing, and they're like, "Oh, he's just a kid." I think that's kind of real, because we do kind of imagine these people, heroes would be older. But yes, that moment when the brilliant but lazy.
Yeah.
I know what's going on now. I thought that was amazing.
Is it Alfred Molina?
There you go, Alfred Molina. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was good. I'm gonna be doing, well, no, I guess when this comes out, I have done a review of this movie, but I am gonna mention it, and I think that when again, I'm gonna go back to the original. I don't want to say original, but the '89 Batman. As you know, my feelings on it, but that moment at the beginning of the movie when he grabs the guy and puts him over the edge of the building,
Yep.
and he's kind of, tell all your friends about me, blah blah blah, and then the guy's like, what are you? And he just pulls him close, and he's like, I'm Batman, and then
Yep.
just throws him and just jumps off the edge.
Yeah.
Say what you will about all the different movies and everything like that, that particular moment of him saying he's Batman has never been done better in live action than that movie and that moment. I mean, at that point, the credits should have rolled, but they didn't. But for me, like that was, I will give it that. That was the best I'm Batman moment ever, and I thought that was I just got chills, because at the time, most people don't realize this, at the time there really hadn't been a Batman cartoon in probably in 10 or 15 years.
Yeah.
So this is pre-Conroy. So you didn't have that "I am vengeance, I am the night, I am Batman," and everybody goes crazy. So I thought that was really cool.
And that that was probably one of the realest Batman moments, and all that weird Tim Burton stuff. That was like the most grounded. That was like real, man. And there's a reason why it's been 25 years and they haven't been able to top that one, you know. Like, didn't they try it with Bale? He tried to do it, have an I'm Batman moment, and it didn't
It
work.
was a weird setup because he had pulled the dude through the car and he was all kind of crouched down. I think if they had I think he needed a better moment. He should have had a better moment to kind of say it. But again, at the same time, you got to set that up.
Yeah,
And I mean, uh, I'm not going to get too into it, but I mean, yeah, I mean, the way that Nolan did those Batman movies to set that kind of scene up would have been weird. But I mean, I think, yeah, I mean, it was kind of forced. Who are you? I'm Batman.
yeah.
But yeah, it would have been.
And I'm gonna put some money on this. I'm gonna put some money on this in a bid to make the DC characters more edgy. I think they're gonna have another I'm Batman moment, but I think they might even try to go for the all-star Batman. I'm the GD Batman. I think I think they might try it. I really do. I think they might.
You know what would be awesome? Even more is if he had that moment with Superman.
Yeah. Oh,
Because
wait a
you
minute.
really think about it, the way they're setting it up, he's an experienced Batman. He would have already done that to other people.
Yeah.
So to have Ben Affleck in the full costume, I don't know if he's like kryptonite battering Superman in the chest or whatever. F your chest, then bang, and then just grab him, pick him up, and just do that. I'm Batman. Who are you? I can't fly. What is this green stuff? I'm Batman.
There you go.
Go back to the Tudors and throws them, into Game of Thrones or something.
Oh, we just made all the Man of Steel fans mad.
Not making fun of Man of Steel. Just saying that the dude was in the Tudors, okay?
Awesome.
All right. But the last one I'm going to mention is my number one moment of all time. The other ones kind of shift back and oh no, I skipped one. Duh.
One more,
Get
yeah.
to my number two. I
Yeah.
got all excited about Batman and everything. All right, my number two, which again this one's not in order, is from the Avengers, and it's that moment Thor has come down, he's taken Loki and flown out of the ship. Iron Man suits up and I do have a plan. Attack and then Captain America starts suiting up and Black Widow's like, I just I'm a sissy. I don't want to go fight people that are stronger than me, which is why I run from the Hulk. Was that the line she said?
Oh.
Something like that. Anyway, and he's like, I can't sit this out, man, blah, blah, blah. And she's, they're practically gods. And his line is like, pardon me, there's only one God, ma'am. And I'm pretty sure he doesn't dress like that. And then he just jumps out of the jet. And then the way he jumps, he floats, and then he puts that shield ahead and just flies past the camera.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought that was such a great moment because there's so many moments in the comics where they draw him jumping at the camera with the shield forward.
Yeah.
And in the first Captain America movie, they didn't have a lot of really cool, iconic images of him as Captain America from the comics. And,
Yeah.
even though it's a movie and it's an adaptation, it's nice when they do that kind of homage to the comics. And just, I think when we talked about this before, you said it really just, you knew in that one sentence his integrity, his moral, fortitude,
Mm-hmm.
where he stood spiritually, and just that even though he knew these guys may be something, like he's still going to jump into the fray no matter what.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I thought that was pretty awesome.
Great. I won't say rare, but yeah, it was a nice cap moment in Avengers because a movie like that, unfortunately, where it suffers is the characters don't get a lot of those moments.
Yeah.
They did pretty good.
All right, so now my number one.
Here we go.
This is the real number one. This is above everything else. And I got to take it to X-Men 2. To X-Men 2. And it's that moment when soldiers have attacked the mansion, and Wolverine has to defend all the kids. And it starts with that great moment of him doing the sword fight or the knife fight. He pushes the dude and pops and And then he just goes through, and you finally, after waiting that whole effing first movie for him to do his Wolverine thing, and granted the story wasn't set up for it, so he didn't, but to see him in that moment in X-Men 2 where he just like, oh, you're taking kids? That means I can kill. And he's just straight up slicing and dicing fools through that mansion.
Yeah.
One of the coldest blooded moments I laughed is there's one where he literally covers the guy's mouth and stabs him in the chest.
Mm-hmm.
And I always laugh at that. I'm like, no, quiet death. But that whole scene when he's doing that, and in the very end, he shoves the kids into the door, and he shuts the door, and he turns around, and just as he turns around, the soldiers come across, come into the hall, and he just pops those claws, and he's just like, you want to shoot me? Shoot me! And it's just that whole, like you can shoot, it's not going to save you, but you can shoot the man. And it was that culmination of, like, that heroic moment. He's saving kids. Even the kids that tried to help him, he just shoves them through, shuts them out, and then it's like, yeah, I'm still here to finish the job because it's not done yet.
Yeah.
And then that whole other thing happens with the ice and everything. But I just love that moment because it was just the epitome of a hero, the epitome of Wolverine being Wolverine.
Yeah, I definitely agree. That was like, I remember, like, people that were kind of let down by, the first movie. They didn't want to go to the second one, and then people that saw the second one before them were like, "You gotta go! Wolverine does Wolverine." It was like, yeah, Wolverine has his moment. You gotta watch it for that. And yeah, I mean, that was Wolverine doing his thing, man. I mean, yeah, I mean, and I won't say, like, we won't say that there hasn't been you can't really say there's a definitive Wolverine because Hugh Jackman's been it, but yeah, the next guy really has his work cut out for him from that scene alone.
Oh yeah, and I think that's the thing with even like with somebody like Robert Downey Jr. Anytime you've got a guy, an actor who starts the role, like, that's it, he creates the role, and now everybody's got to live up to it. And the thing with, and I don't want to get too deep into it, but the thing with Michael Keaton is he only did 2 movies, and people still adhere to him as a definitive Batman. I don't buy into that, but I'm just saying there's a lot of people that still do. But like same thing maybe said with like Sean Connery. He did 5 movies of James Bond, and people still try and say he's the best of James Bond because he created it. But with like guys like Robert Downey Jr. or Hugh Jackman, where Hugh Jackman so far is at 7, he may be up to 9 before he calls it quits.
Yeah,
because he's got 2 more. So you're talking about somebody who's comfortable in the role, and then he finally is like, all right, I'm 80, I have to stop. And the next dude comes in. Yeah, what are you going to do? Same with Robert Downey Jr. He's got at least Avengers 2 and 3, and then who knows after that. And for me personally, and this might go a little weird over, but you're talking a good probably 5-7 more years before Robert Downey Jr. is out. I say Joseph Gordon-Levitt. Toss him in there. Let him be Robert. By then he'll be almost 40. Let him be Tony Stark.
Yeah.
Got the personality. I think he's got kind of you've seen enough of his roles where he can do that kind of thing. I think he'd be good in 7 years when Downey's ready to be done. Let him be Iron Man or Tony Stark in Iron Man 4.
Wow.
But yeah, whoever has to follow Jackman, good luck. Because he did 2 things. There's 2 things Jackman did. One, he's an amazing actor. He started the role, and good luck finding somebody to get in that shape for the movie.
Yeah, and he's gotten like better. I think someone actually showed like him in X-Men 1, and then him now. It's like, geez, he just got better and better. Wow. Well, talk to his trainer. Well, actually, I probably couldn't afford to talk to his trainer.
Well, especially in the Wolverine, like, I mean, she says she doesn't like him, but she says it was distracting how ripped he was, and it's true. Like, there's a couple moments you're like, it's just crazy how ripped he is in that movie.
Yeah. And
the interesting fact, though, about the first X-Men is that he got cast almost 2 months into principal photography.
Yeah, wasn't it like Dougray Scott?
Scott was going to be him, and then he got held up doing Mission Impossible 2 because he hurt his shoulder.
Yeah.
So they had to cast him. and they didn't film that opening scene of him in the cage until the very end of principal photography, so that he could get his best shape as possible, so that he looked kind of in shape for the movie.
Yeah, they get swole on barely.
But but yeah, there you go. That's my top. That Wolverine Goes Berserk and X-Men 2. My top moment, I said a couple honorable mentions. Leonidas first separating from the team, from the group, and doing his thing. The Avengers at the very end. Before people, my huge fan base, before people try and say, well, hey, The Dark Knight is your top comic book movie of all time, how come you didn't mention any of the moments from that movie? Because it's the whole movie.
Yeah.
I could list 50 moments from that movie that are just top moments. If you want me to do the list, watch me make this pencil disappear. Ta-da! Anytime the Joker's on, that's a moment.
I got to call BS on that because, to be real, Joker would have gotten that ass beat by Michael J. White in real life.
Yeah.
That felt.
I got these.
Yeah.
Dynamite!
I just felt weird seeing Michael J. White like afraid of Joker. Like, oh come on, man, this is
put on that blue suit and kick his butt with your chucks, brother. We know you can. Can you imagine? They put the Joker's body on the pool table. Ain't nobody messing my time of pool. Anyway, but yeah, I think that whole movie, when he ties all the SWAT dudes together and kicks the one off, and they are all like a loop of guys, there's plenty in there.
Yeah, like my favorite movie is Sin City. Like my favorite movie period is Sin City, and it's hilarious because you get a lot of film snobs like what? But I mean, it's nowhere on the list. So it's nowhere on my list. I mean, it looked just like you said, it's the whole movie. It looks just like the graphic novel. There you go, but didn't make the list. So
I could do an honorable mention from that movie, but it gets very R-rated, so I'm not going to discuss it.
Oh yeah. I think I know.
Carla Gugino. That's all I'm saying is Carla Gugino. So anyway, yeah. Next time we'll do top 5 crushes from movies. How about that?
Oh wow! There we go.
All right. Well, in an attempt to keep it under time, let's go ahead and call it. Let me go ahead and say real quick, as far as my fans or Fanboy JunKtion or whatever, I know I've been kind of out of the loop. I had a big move, literally moved from one house to another. My wife's birthday and my son's birthday are within a week of each other. So I've definitely had my hands full. Sorry, I've been kind of falling behind. I will try to make sure to start cranking them out a lot quicker. Please let me know if you like it when I have Demarcus on. Apparently from the views, you guys do. So cool. I guess that's pretty much it. Demarcus, you got anything else you want to add?
Share this video across social media with all your other geeky friends or whatever. So people can see it.
Definitely.
People can see it. So thanks for having me on again. It's been fun. Can't wait to do it again.
Yeah, and then if you can comment below, let us know. Demarcus wants to talk about video games. I know about video games. So he's got a couple things he wants to talk about. I'm thinking about letting him do it. Let me know below if you guys want to actually see him talk about video games and me just make fun of him. I have no idea.
Yeah. Oh, and also you gotta let us know if you want to hear Ryan, Mr. J's wife, go in on Gambit and Channing Tatum.
That's right. Let us know. All right. Demarcus, say bye, and then I'll cancel. I'll shut it down.
All right. Thanks for watching. We're out.
Yeah, guys, thanks for watching, and we will catch you next time. Bye-bye.